Good evening. Welcome to the 23rd episode of Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops Facebook Live. My name is Rachel Pilcher. Thank you for joining me tonight. I know that for many of you it is an absolutely beautiful day, especially if you're in North Texas. I spent half of my afternoon up on my mother's roof cleaning it off because yesterday it was ridiculously windy, and today everything was calm. I could get up there, sweep out the edges that collect all of the dirt and leaves and sticks and all kinds of stuff. So that's what I did today, and was able to get in and get ready to come and join you tonight. So I appreciate you spending a few moments of your time with me. I have a few things that I do want to announce before we get started on tonight's topic, which is coping with imposter syndrome, or conquering imposter syndrome. Actually sounds like a better way to think about it, because coping, that makes it sound like it's going to be around forever, and eventually it won't be if you conquer it correctly. So first, though, I do want to remind you that every Wednesday I host a virtual writing hour starting at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time via Zoom. If you're interested, go to the Rachel Pilcher Writing Workshops website. That's rachelpilcherwritingworkshops.com for more information. Next up, coming in March, I have my next class. I'm trying to hit one every month, and I appreciate those of you who are able to come to my last class just last weekend. Doesn't seem like it was such a long time ago, but it does too. Time is flying. But my next class is in March. It is March 16th, Saturday, March 16th. It's called Writing Your Artist Biography. And in that class, it's not writing an entire biography. It's just basically writing that little paragraph snippet that you have to have when you are writing, submitting to publishers for publication, whether it's through literary journals or different things like that, or a artist biography that you'd want to have on your website, or as your little snippet about me that's in your on your Facebook page, if you have a writer Facebook page, which I highly suggest you do. But that is what the artist biography is. So that is going to be on Saturday, March 16th. I hope that if you are interested and you definitely need to get a biography up on a website or something, that you consider taking that class. All of the information can be found on rachelpilcherwritingworkshops.com. And finally, Panther City Review Issue 4 is accepting submissions. I will be accepting submissions through Monday, April the 29th. So if you are interested, you can go to panthercityreview.com, and it's always good to check it out, check out previous issues so you can kind of see what I like and what I like to publish. So I would love to have some of your work in there if you are interested in being included. I know a lot of you are probably either wanting to get outside and enjoy the beautiful evening, or ready to watch the Oscars. So if you are ready to do that, let's go ahead and start talking about imposter syndrome. So some of you may be wondering what imposter syndrome actually is. And it's generally when a writer or any kind of business owner or whomever just doesn't feel like that they're good enough, or that they're not as good as what other people think that they are, or they think they're like, why am I even saying that this is who I am? That is called imposter syndrome. You feel like you are an imposter in the career or the path that you are wanting to take. So I'm not a therapist. I didn't even get the chance to take psychology in college. I ended up in sociology because psychology was always full. But I've had a lot of experience with imposter syndrome professionally for myself, as well as working with other people that just don't feel like they're quite really where they're supposed to be in their writing or in their business. So I'm going to share with you some things that I've done to kind of work my way through anytime I'm feeling that little snippet of imposter syndrome. It does go away. That's a good thing. It does go away. But just some things that really help, some strategies that do help to get you through that. So the first thing that you can do, and this is not going to be a surprise to anyone who knows me or has listened to any of my Facebook Lives before, but I'm going to encourage you to journal or to write it out, to write about it, to think about why you think you aren't good enough to be what it is that you are trying to be. So if it is an artist, if it is a writer, if it is a business owner, why is it that you are having these doubts about yourself? Hi Sharon, thanks for joining. We're talking about imposter syndrome, so and how to conquer it. So you're going to write it out. Write about why you feel the way you do. So go into detail. Did something happen? Did somebody make you feel like you were not good enough? Or did they say something about your work and it kind of made you down about how you're feeling? So write that out. And then try to figure out, well, should what this person says or think really affect what I am doing and how I feel about myself? And, there's a lot of things that can be worked out just by doing that. It's not just with imposter syndrome, but use that as a strategy. It doesn't have to be journaling. You could even write a story about it. You could do all kinds of things, but sit down and write it out and try to figure out what scenario happened to put you in that position to where you felt like you were not the thing that you're trying to be. You were not the writer. Another strategy that I use, and it's specifically for writers, but it can work with all types of artists, is that even if you're feeling that self-doubt, you're feeling that that your work is crap, keep doing it. Just keep writing. Keep doing your art. Keep working on your business, because doing that, it encourages you, and it builds and it creates more of expertise in what you're doing. So when you're writing, the more you write, the better you get. It just naturally happens that way. And when you have that self-doubt, when you have that imposter syndrome that's coming up, just keep doing it. And going back to the first one, write about it. Try to write it out and figure out what is it that's causing that. The other thing that I do, and this works well for writers, but it works well as well for other artists, is if you are in a critique group, or if you have people that you trust to be able to give you an honest opinion, but not a mean one, because whenever you're feeling imposter syndrome, you don't want somebody that's going to just rip your stuff to shreds at the time. You want someone that's going to be encouraging, but will also offer you ways in which you can make your work better. So find that group or that person that can help you and get some feedback from them. A lot of times it's really good to have your ego stroked a little bit if you know that somebody is going to read your stuff and they're going to like it, not just because it's you, but because they like your writing or your art anyway. So the majority of imposter syndrome does come though from comparison. So it may be, and this is another strategy that you might want to think about, figure out who it is that you are comparing yourself to, and that could be really easy to do. Like, this person has, all these stories that are published, and I write just as well as they do, or maybe even better. What is it that they are doing to get to where they are? It could be that they submit to 500 journals a month. That's a little exaggeration, I think, because that's a lot of submission. But they could submit to quite a few, and they may only get one every other month or so that actually accepts their work. Well, figure out which ones are accepting their work. Maybe even talk to them if it's somebody that's, on the same level as you are as an artist, and say, hey, I really like what you're doing. I like how you're doing this. Give me some clues. Give me some pointers on what I can do to advance my own work. And most people are not going to be very standoffish about it. They're willing to be able to share with you what they have going on. So they could also be in a completely different place in their life. I know I'm part of a critique group where almost every single writer in that critique group is in a different part of their writing life. And it doesn't, I know there are some people that are within the group that are probably looking at others and going, wow, you know, I'll never be to where that person is. And I always try to encourage them. It's like, you know, they've been working on this for 10 years or 15 or 20 years. You just started 3 months ago. You're going to be okay. You can eventually get there. But part of it is just working your way through everything and getting your work done. So the biggest hint that I have, and I think it's pretty easy to see where this is going, don't let self-doubt and comparing yourself stop you from doing what you're doing. Just keep writing, keep doing what you need to do, and I hope that you keep doing that. So I am going to let y'all go for the night. It's a little early, but that's great because 11 minutes we've been on. So I hope you have a wonderful evening. If you are watching the Oscars tonight, I hope your favorite movie wins. And I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Have a good evening. Bye.